Hi, I'm Alex, and I am doing a T-60 cosplay of the T-60 Power Armor from Fallout 4. Now, I know there are a few other videos online like this, and I just wanted to kind of give my insight and tips to how to do it. I don't have it on right now, and I'm in the very early stages. I have, for the most part, the shoulders complete. That's kind of a janky setup. Just literally an extended clothes hanger. The EVA foam I'm using for this, it's good on the flat surface, but getting things to stick like tape and glue on this rough surface is much more difficult. That explains kind of the mass amounts of duct tape. It's janky, and it's just kind of how I'm going about it right now. It's not the complete version. But for things like the arms and mounting those, what I've actually found useful is I had this really old, like, memory foam, like from an old, like, mattress that is not used anymore. And I cut that up in sheets, and I basically stuff things like the upper kind of bicep piece and lower, forearm piece, so that when you put it on, bear with me for a moment here, when you put it on, you have lots of freedom in how you can move your limb while keeping it rather snug on there. So that's definitely one of the ideas I've found to work. Something that's very useful and cost effective if you happen to have something like an old mattress that you're not using, or something made out of memory foam that you're not using. Something a little bit more dense, not just dense enough for it to kind of squeeze around your limb to kind of just keep it on there. This is just a boot, or at least just a concept. This whole setup is not meant to be, this build is not meant to be super detailed. As you can see, this is the front chest piece. Just started working on it for the past 2 days. Not super impressive, but use some some copper wires basically to kind of bend into the shape of these bars that appear on the front. Just as concept, I have these two kind of small water balls, just wrapped them in duct tape just to kind of keep the color consistent. I'll probably replace those with a 3D printed part later. As you can see here, I have a super sledge, one of the props that you can get from GameStop. They still have a few of these around, including plasma pistols too. That's just kind of my easy go-to if you're looking for kind of game props. GameStop usually has a couple props like that. So yeah, these are the bicep pieces, forearms, chest, shoulders. Here, let me flip these up so you can at least see how these are doing so far. Put it over this tent. So these are how the shoulders are looking so far. I don't have all the details in there, and they're not glued on the best. There's some kind of warping right here. Obviously, I can tap that out later like a heat gun. But, yeah. And for gloves, I literally have just taken some regular winter mittens and cut out some pieces of EVA foam and glued them on there. It doesn't hold the best, as you can see, like right here and right here, but at least for a time being, and if you're someone who is limited on time, definitely an easy way to go about it. Still looks kind of cool when you put them on. Here, I can give an example of that. Excuse me one moment. Just like so. And yeah, they're kind of crooked on some fingers. You just kind of fidget with it until it fits right. But yeah, so that's kind of a budget, easy way to go about it. Something that looks relatively neat while keeping it simple and effective. You still have pretty full range of motion for your fingers. You just kind of want to be careful since the stuff doesn't glue on real tight. It's easy to fall off. So that's one way of going about it. And yeah, so that's about how far I am so far with this project. For those also looking to do kind of an EVA build of any type of power armor from Fallout 4. I know that for years I've really wanted to do this project, and this is actually probably the first larger cosplay I have done. So for anyone who has any questions about a build like this, including for example, like what EVA foam to use, what glue to use. In fact, that's one of the things I see people ask a lot is what kind of glue they use. And this is the stuff I use. It's the E6000. You can get it at pretty much almost any hardware store. I'm sure lots of hobby stores have it too. So yeah, definitely use some of that stuff. I then also use just kind of a wood glue type product to basically just paste over seams after applying this stuff, just kind of as an extra seal slash kind of just bond between the materials. Things like wood glue actually I've found stick well with foam like this, at least on this matte edge, to kind of paste it over this to kind of get rid of the seam, to kind of smooth it out, which makes it much easier when you're painting it. But that's about all the tips I have for this. For anyone who stumbles upon this video and you have questions about a build like this, feel free to ask. Other than that, peace.